good morning and happy Easter, sir.
Yeah, good morning, buddy. Happy Easter.
Yes. Masters edition, golf edition of the podcast, the Cactus Pit. We're going to show our love to Tiger Woods and his possible last Masters event this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not dressed to the nines like you are. I'm not ready for the caddy, whatever the hell you would call it. I'm not dressed appropriately. So, also don't have a long enough golf club for me either. So, because I'm tall as hell.
That's true. I bet you could probably like go full old school with it though, and get the hockey stick putter, like old Billy Madison.
Actually, that probably would work.
It would work.
Yeah,
it would work.
You ever actually like tried to golf with a hockey stick at all?
I want to say that I grew up in Oklahoma in the 90s, and we had rollerblades that went over the shoe. We had hockey pucks, and we had black grip tape. So I feel like we did do that maybe once or twice at least in a garage, in a church parking lot somewhere. Yeah. Good parking, 2-level structure. You get the top, the roof, nice smooth concrete. You play some mean roller hockey, dude.
Yeah.
Get mean with it.
Whenever I think of roller hockey, I think of or like street hockey, I literally think of Wayne's World.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was rewatching that the other day, and I was like, this is so cheesy, but it's so good. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those movies. That makes me think of like I don't know if I was talking to you about this or not, but like thinking of like movies as a kid, or like I'm thinking of like whenever I was like 11 or whatever, and watching that movie when I was 11, I was like, man, this movie's great. Well, it's like Mortal Kombat, for example. Was I talking to you about this at all?
No, but I'm down with it.
Okay, so you're like thinking back, like, man, this movie's really good, and then I rewatched it like a year ago, and I'm like, this movie sucks. Have you ever done that before?
I did that recently with a movie called Eastern Promises with Viggo Mortensen.
I don't even know what that is.
Well,
sounds like
it's an old Russian gangster movie.
Okay.
Where he plays like this guy, but then I went back and watched it, and it just wasn't that gangster. Like, there was parts of it that were pretty good, like when they were sitting down in the restaurant and then like talking over what was going to go down. Like, that was pretty cool. But then when it came to like the actual like action and the violence of the movie, it just didn't really deliver like it did when I was like 16 when I watched it, because I was 16 and I like didn't have any tattoos, and I was all like tattoos, and he's like doing this. He's like type shit, And I was like, that dude's crazy. But yeah, so that was one of those movies for me. Eastern Promises, kind of a letdown.
Yeah, well, if it's a letdown, I'm not gonna watch it.
You know what isn't a letdown though? Green Street Hooligans. You ever seen Green Street Hooligans?
I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it. Elijah
Wood, he plays a kid that's going to like a Ivy League school, and then he takes the fall for a cocaine bust that his roommate. It was his drugs, but his kid's like a roommate's a senator's son, so he goes to Europe. Becomes like a fighting gangster soccer firm guy they call the American. And he just whoops ass for like 2.5 hours. They just go to soccer games like Man U, just battle. It's awesome. You got to watch it.
Hell yeah. I'll have to take a look at that. I really want to watch that movie called Everything, or it was Everywhere, Everything All at Once. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I heard about this one yet.
No, it's like I don't even know what the hell it's about, but I've just heard it's really good. So I think it has something to do with like maybe like the universe and like being, I guess, omniscient or something. I could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
Omnipresent, like everything.
Exactly.
All the time.
Multiverse.
Huh?
Multiverse.
Yeah, like the multiverse.
The multiverse. I believe in like different dimensions for sure. Like different perceives. Things that you can perceive and can't perceive, There's got to be something going on to that. I think if you've ever gone on any journeys, you can definitely see you've experienced different things, stuff like that.
I haven't gotten there yet. I did. We're coming back to tattoos for a second.
Yeah.
Do you have like? I know you have quite a few tattoos on your. You got some on your calves, arms, stuff like that. Do you have any tattoos where you're just like, damn, I regret that one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I was 17. I was 17 years old, and I was in alternative school in Oklahoma City, and this is right before I ended up going to military academy for kids that had excelled in school. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And yeah, so I got a tattoo from one of my classmates' cousins, and he had like a homemade tattoo gun, like with the pen, and had the little motor that he had taken out of something else, and then he put the ink in like a Sprite bottle cap, and I got a little Japanese symbol. I hope is not Szechuan chicken, but it very well could be.
I mean, I'm down for that.
I don't think Eli's cousin spoke Mandarin, so therein lies the issue.
Okay. Do you remember back? I think it was in the '90s when Mulan came out.
Yeah.
It was. I think McDonald's did like some sort of special Szechuan sauce. Do you remember that?
Oh yes,
dude. I don't know what it is about that sauce. They need to bring that shit back. It was so good. It's kind of like It's like when you go to McDonald's and you have Coca-Cola. It tastes better than Coke from other places. Have y'all heard of that before?
I've heard that they inject like more something into the lines, like more CO2, or I don't know what they do to it, but they do something to it where it tastes better.
Yeah, it tastes sweeter, and I'm just like, on the fast track to diabetes.
Oh yeah, and the Szechuan sauce, that's funny because they got brought back by the show Rick and Morty on Cartoon Network, because everybody was like, Szechuan sauce. It became like a huge crave, and then all of a sudden McDonald's was like, we're bringing back Szechuan sauce. But they should have been giving away some Rick and Morty swag for that, for sure.
Well, I think I forget the guy's name that created Rick and Morty. I don't know if it was just one person or two different people, but I'm pretty sure he got into massive trouble here recently, like within the last couple of months. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well I can't really speak on it then. I don't really know.
Oh,
I just heard, so you know how that goes.
Yeah. No, I hadn't heard about that, but I know that they signed like a 5-year deal to put out more episodes because I know that the episodes take a long time to produce because of how detailed and oriented he is about his episodes, making sure that everything's very scientifically correct, and all the stuff that he does in the episode is very it's kind of high level intelligence, done in a very comedic cartoon way. But I mean, at the same time, the stuff he's talking about, the multiverse and time travel and all these things, could be a real possibility if you believe in the science and things like that. Or for example, the Hadron Collider in CERN, Switzerland. It's this giant particle, it slams particles into each other, creates a Big Bang.
Yeah.
So that's going on in CERN, Switzerland right now. So they're essentially creating a new Big Bang, which God only knows what might come out of that thing. If they're creating another world somehow. And that's we go back to talking about dimensions, different dimensions that you can perceive and you can't perceive. And that's one of those things, is that some sort of dimension that's operating on a level that you can't see, touch, taste, or smell? Because there's definitely things, energies and different things going on that are at play in the world, I think, personally. We're talking about Easter. I believe there is a God. I believe in God. I also believe in things like, if you've ever seen the Fibonacci spiral, that's what they would consider the fingerprint of intelligent design. You can find it in seahorses, thousands of flowers. It's all around the world. It's a sequence, essentially, like a mathematical sequence that can be found in a lot of different things. So if you believe in God or a God, that's what a lot of people believe to be intelligent design, the Fibonacci spiral. But that's an interesting concept in itself when you talk about the multiverse and how things are created and how we all are here now floating on a rock in space, looking at you in a room, talking on a microphone. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about and correct me on the pronunciation, but Fibonacci.
The
Fibonacci spiral. I think I remember you talking to me about that, and I was just like, you just blew my mind. It's just such a weird thing to think about. And then when coming back to CERN, it's that makes me think of Stranger Things. I'm pretty sure a Demogorgon's probably going to pop out of somewhere. I mean,
could happen.
Yeah, and when you're fucking around with shit like that, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with the AI. Have you seen these videos of? There was some video that came out where somebody booped the AI on the nose, and it got mad and grabbed the person's arm. Was don't do that. It didn't say don't do that. Don't do that. But just based off the body language, you're okay, maybe you need to stop creating these things, please.
Well, I know Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak, and 1,290 something people just signed legislation, a document stating that they should put a halt to all AI development for at least 6 months. So that ChatGPT, I was an early adopter of ChatGPT. I got it when it came out as a beta, and now I still have it, and it's been upgraded probably every other week. It seems like it gets a new update. But it's pretty incredible because I used it to outline a syllabus to put together a commission for rankings, or like a belt system, if you will.
Yeah.
Like they have in martial arts. Let's just use jiu-jitsu, white to black. There's 5 belts, right? Blue, purple, brown, black. So in barbering, when you first get in the game, I would be considered a white belt. But someone who's been in the game for, let's say, like myself, 6-7 years, that would be a little bit higher of a level. So just like in food, you've got your cooks, you've got your chefs. So I was kind of like, let me talk to this thing and see if it can outline some sort of syllabus to put together something that would help be more efficient for us as barbers, and to get the recognition and the payment for the time, and then you as a client, so that you can say, hey, I need a buzz cut. I don't want to pay $75 for that, but I do want to go to this shop. I'll go with one of the junior associate barbers. So this thing laid out a whole like plan. So I'm going to get together and try to sit down and figure some stuff out. So using that to like pontificate on a thought that I've had that I couldn't get that far on, because that thing has so much more resource to pull from, that it can create my idea, what I have in my head, and it can actually formulate that plan for me. And then I can take that as like, a foundation, and based off of what I want to do, just based off of that.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's definitely like a cool thing to have that as a tool now, but I feel like it takes away value from all this stuff as well. It's kind of like, okay, well, if someone writes a book, and put that in quotes, like if someone writes a book and they're using ChatGPT, it's like, okay, tell me a story, 300 pages of, whatever. And it comes up within 10 seconds or something, but then, I think on the business aspect, it's definitely a good thing for sure.
It depends. It's a double-edged sword, and I can see where the fear would come from, because, you could take drones, you could take anything. You could shut down, logistics. You could shut down food. You could cause all sorts of chaos in the city. You could shut down power grids. You could do all sorts of mischievous things with AI, and there's been plenty of talks about how drones, with the things that they're outfitted with now, could be programmed with facial recognition software, and then just get like a small charge and put them on, a fleet of drones and send them to attack, whoever they find that guy. Boom, hits him, gets him.
Yeah, dude, that facial recognition stuff's it's crazy, but I mean, I use it on my phone. That's how I open my phone up. It's a normal thing now, which is very odd to think about. But so back in January, I went to Cancun, and to get on the plane, that you didn't even have to show them your ticket, nothing. I was like, okay, well, why do I have this? Just facial recognition. They're like, all right, stand here for 10 seconds, and then whenever it scanned your face, your name popped up, and I was like, oh my God. Like ChatGPT, or no, what was I saying? No, facial recognition. Went to overseas and to Cancun, and they didn't even check my ticket. We're just like, all right, stand here, we're gonna scan your face, and then your name pops up, and I'm like, what? It was pretty scary.
I don't like that.
No, but it's you got to think about it's kind of like the sponsored ad thing on your phone. If you're ever looking at stuff on Instagram or any other social media app, it's like, okay, my phone's probably listening to us right now, as well as y'all's phones, and then later in the day, some sort of AI thing might pop up as a sponsored ad, and then it's kind of scary to think about your Amazon Alexa behind you. It just lit up when I said that, but is it listening?
It's definitely.
It most likely is, because I think
it's definitely plugged in, so it's listening.
Oh, for sure. So I saw something. This is one of those things where I heard or saw something, but I don't really know too much about it. But I thought it was kind of interesting. It was something about some dude was murdering somebody somewhere. It was maybe his wife, and then Amazon Alexa fucking snitched, ratted on him because there was an Alexa in the room.
For sure.
Have you heard about that?
No, but I can see that being a thing. I mean, good luck getting away with any type of criminal behavior these days.
Oh yeah, it's like Minority Report.
It is like Minority Report, because like you said, they can take phones and triangulate your voice. So even if you don't have a cell phone on you, I was told this by a client of mine who works for the government in this arena, and he said that even if you don't have a phone on you, he works in cybersecurity. If you and Zach had y'all's phone on you, we go across the street to the restaurant over here and get a pizza. If we're talking, they can recognize my voice and then triangulate my location.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And then not to mention, all the what do you call it? The things you always have to agree to. Updates you get on your phone,
terms and conditions,
things like this. Yeah. So there's a big issue in the Senate right now going around about the TikTok app, and the data collection and the fact that they work with the government in China. And that's been a big issue. But what they're trying to do in legislation is pass a bill that would essentially give them people that you did not vote for, by the way, and are not held accountable, and you pay their salaries, are making it so that they can dictate what apps they deem okay for you. So that's an infringement on free speech. So whether you want to use the app or what you believe about the app, like, they shouldn't be able to say, we as your leaders and elected officials that, again, you didn't elect, can make up whatever we deem okay for the citizen society. So then that's not a free society anymore. So for me, it's like the overreach of the government just in almost every aspect of our life right now is just kind of omnipresent, right? Like in everywhere you look, you feel like it's getting like the leash is just getting a little bit tighter, and that's because it is. And I think we need to kind of recognize that. And I don't think TikTok is an app that is beneficial for me personally. As a 39-year-old married man, there's not a whole lot on TikTok that I need to be doing, except for maybe putting out some content, I think. But for me, like, I wouldn't want my daughter or son watching TikTok all day long, like watching booty shaking and idiots run around getting slapped with powder and all this other silliness. Like, you know, over there, their kids are watching like science and history.
So when you say over there, where do you mean?
In China.
China? Okay.
Yeah, China specifically. So yeah, so that's the difference, and that's a different type of like Cold War tactic, right? Like make them slow, stupid, fat, and lazy. So you know, that's kind of what's been happening. Fentanyl's being sent over here from the border. It's coming in left and right. We have an epidemic going on in our country, and that's, you know, due to factories coming out of China and Mexico and drugs that are coming in. So all these things are kind of tied in together. You know, it's just like, I feel as an American, it's kind of time for us to take a stance on what our beliefs are and what we believe in, because I feel like we've been pushed around a little bit too much lately.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think I'm not super educated when it comes to politics and stuff like that, but I mean, you definitely made a good point and all of that. I definitely do think like we're not like the top dog, put it in quotes, but yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like that. But I don't know.
Well, this is all like narratives that are pushed by the media too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so you can know what you know, but you can't know what you don't know, and what angles you can't see. So I mean, it's hard to say, but from what I can tell, and from talking to people on a regular basis, it seems like people are just kind of more paranoid now than ever. Just probably because of social media, because of, you know, the lack of privacy that we all have. You know, it used to be back when we were growing up as kids, like if you left your house, you were gone. You know, if you had to see a buddy at the mall, I'd be like, hey man, Johnny, tell my mom I'm gonna be home like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, what movie you going to watch with the girls? Whatever movie was the longest. You know, we're going to see Gone with the Wind again, Dad. Okay? Because I'm going with Deidre, and you know the deal. All right? I'm trying to hold some hands in this bitch. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, not to go off on like a tangent on freedom, but I do feel like a lot of people feel like they have a lack of opportunity, which is just, to me, kind of silly. I think people have been roped into like this mindset of, you know, get married, get a job, have some kids, settle down, retire in 30 years, 40 years. That world doesn't exist for us anymore. That's not an option for you or me or you anymore. You know, you have to have a full-time job, a side hustle, and delivering for Uber. Yep. You know, and good luck if you're a single parent in today's world. You know, child care for me is a lot. You know, private school for my daughter is a lot. And we do well, but it's still a lot. You know, when I was growing up, man, it wasn't anything like this. It wasn't hyper competitive and individualism, like get over on whoever I can get over on to get to this next level. It was about community and hanging out and going to the local pool and playing baseball with your friends. And, you know, it was about community and having a tribe and a village of people that you could depend on. And, you know, your buddy Chase, go watch wrestling. Your buddy Matt, go get spaghetti on Thursday nights, you know, shit like that. You know, and we didn't grow up rich at all. You know, we grew up lower middle class. You know, mom was a teacher, dad was gone. You know, grandparents were stability for us in Oklahoma. But I felt rich in the way that the fact that I got blessed to know all the people I knew.
Yeah.
And they all were good had good morals and things like that. Now, for me, the world has changed. So now kids don't really get to be kids anymore because of a cell phone in their hands, and they become like little robots, just walk around.
Yeah.
You're trying to talk to them, and they're just like staring at the floor and don't know how to speak to you. It's just an interesting time right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So just recently on Friday, I text Courtney and I was like for everyone that doesn't know, Courtney's my fiance. Was at work and I'm like, you know what? I was like, hey, be ready by to go to dinner by 8:00. Just randomly, I'm like, I'm gonna figure out somewhere to go because like I was telling her, I was like, I don't want you to ever feel like I'm never like trying to stop dating you, even though we're together and we have been for years. It's like I don't want you to ever feel like I don't care. So something like spontaneous like that, I want to like keep doing stuff like that. And when we're at dinner, like we didn't have our phones out, we didn't whatever, and it's just more of like a get off of that thing so that we can have an interaction and enjoy each other's time. So,
Oh yeah. Not being distracted, man. It's like boredom is where creativity lies.
Yeah.
And everybody's so terrified of being bored these days. Like it's and listen, I'm guilty of it myself. Like I'm not saying I'm some like saint. I'm not. Okay. I stare at my cell phone and watch nonsense that like I try to make sure if I'm watching things, it's educating me. I'm listening to Audible, trying to do books. I'm not wasting my time watching TV programs that are fictitious. Like I just don't care.
Yeah.
I would rather learn about, jiu-jitsu or study that, watch those DVDs, learn about golf, hang out with you, just actually like go live life. Be outside, man. Get some sun on your skin, break a sweat, have some fun, man. Shit, get dirty. Pass out and hit your head on the tile when you wake up in the morning. Knock yourself out.
I really hope you're okay. By the way,
I don't know if I am, but I'm. We're not all gonna survive. So that's the good news. That's the one thing that's guaranteed is none of us are gonna survive.
Well, I just don't want you to die now.
Oh yes, no. But if it happens to go, just make sure you wear like a duck outfit to my funeral, okay? And then just quack around, dude. Make people laugh. Just quack.
Do you want to tell everybody what happened?
Sure, I'll tell everybody what happened. So I woke up this morning and I had a long day yesterday. I was up at 5 a.m. I worked all the way till like 9 o'clock. Regular day for me as an entrepreneur, business owner. So I have long days. But then early turn this morning. I woke up. I was sitting there, and I was just looking at my phone in the morning in the chair there, and I just woke up on the ground, face down, like kind of just like bouncing like this, just like all woozy. Smacked my dome on the tile, and it was just like I guess I just passed out and went face first into the tile. So I got this beautiful little knot on the dome here. But I don't know, have you ever just passed out randomly? I think maybe I just sat down weird. Maybe I just got my artery the right way and just put me out. But that was just a strange thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually had that happen. I mean, I've had my feet feel like the black and white static off the TV, sitting on the toilet too long because I'm like looking at Instagram or whatever, wasting time, and I'm like, I think I need to get up because I'm being a piece of shit right now. So no pun intended on that. But yeah, man. I think we should probably go ahead and end it right here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I just appreciate doing this. This is fun, man. So,
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing it.
Hell yeah. So
the Cactus Pit.
The Cactus Pit. For everyone that didn't know, that's what it's called, the Cactus Pit. So,
all right. So final prediction here. Does the 25-year-old Hovland, okay, or John Rahm win the tournament? Just one out of two.
Well, I'm not really super educated on golf, so I'm just gonna go with the young gun.
The young gun?
Yeah.
Hovland. All right, I'm gonna go with John Rahm. Gentleman's bet.
Isn't Brooks? How do you pronounce his last name? Brooks.
Kapka.
Isn't he like running the show right now?
He's crushing the game.
Yeah.
He's crushing the game. I think he'll probably end up winning actually. But all right, let's cut it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.